TTRLA, man, we are back with another clip. You know what I mean? Hey, man, say, man, go ahead and like, subscribe, and shit on my channel, man. Like, subscribe, and shit on my channel, motherfucker. I'm gonna give you 2 seconds. All right, you should be good, man. This is the YNW Melly murder trial, day 15. I know, day 15. This is the longest murder trial ever. But what's most interesting about this trial right now is that the defense attorney truly believes that their client is innocent. And when you got defense attorneys that are really working towards your innocence, that means a lot. And they probably getting paid a bag too, so that make them want to work even harder for you. All right, so in the beginning, when I first started this, I was confused about, you know, kind of like the storyline as to why they believe YNW Melly committed these murders, and then the state presented their case and everything like that. And I started to like think about that TV show, How to Get Away with Murder, right? And in that TV show, the lawyer basically was giving them so much game that they could literally get away with murder. And the way that the state was presenting this evidence, right, and their witnesses, it made me like think of that TV show. And I feel like the state of Florida is actually framing YNW Melly for these murders. Now, did YNW Melly have some issues with his best friends? Absolutely. I feel like he did 100%. But do I feel like YNW Melly killed them niggas? Hell no. I think that dude 100 Track is an informant for the Florida State Police. I think he was a part of that academy that dude Polo, the witness that the state had, came up on stand, was talking about how he has top trainings to infiltrate these gangs and stuff. I think 100K was one of their top performers in the class, and he put YNW Melly all the way together. I really think he was trying to put Vaughn together, or in the situation, put them together, you know what I'm saying? So that at the end of the day, he getting paid and the state of Florida getting that money, you know what I mean? So that's what I feel about that. But these two attorneys, the defense attorney and the state attorney, they funny as shit. They throwing major shade at each other, talking shit. The judge overruling the shit out of the state's objections. And what's most interesting too is that YNW Melly, they trying to say that, oh, he said he did it because he said I did that, and then somebody responded shh. And he got all these text messages of spelling the word D-A-T. Like for me, I like using the word K because I feel like it's more ethnic when I say certain things. And so I say that all the time. Now you have to, when you do it a lot, it is definitely like brain muscle memory. You know what I'm saying? And so for him to spell it T-H-A-T instead of D-A-T is strange. It almost seems like somebody did it. But we gonna get into it, man. I'm gonna stop talking.
Well, you promoted me, so you better apologize to the judge. Sorry.
This Bama talking about something. Your Honor, to the defense attorney. He was definitely trying to take shots. The defense attorney handled that real well, though.
Could you point to where I did that? Is that correct? Yes, sir. And how do you spell that? T-H-A-T? Okay.
I like what that defense attorney just did right there. He said, how do you spell that? The witness spelled it T-H-A-T. He said, okay, and walked off. That was a powerful statement. So right now, what I like what the defense attorney just is about to do is he's about to get one of the 7,000 phones or messages out of the phones that the state's attorney got over there for evidence. And he's about to go through it and read how YNW Melly speaks. All right, just pay attention. Remember what I said in the beginning. This part of the trial is very pivotal because he's really about to put some reasonable doubt in the mix by presenting these text messages. And the state attorney does shit. She was mad as shit over there. You know what I'm saying? Mad that she might have forgot that he even spelled that or even looked over it. So this right here just is a good part. So I need y'all to pay attention.
I'll find out.
Yes.
Can you state any objection?
Attorney evidence, if you just cross-reference from which exhibit you got the instructions.
I wish I could. There's 4,000 of them that we took a sample.
Excuse me one second.
Hey, the state attorney was throwing major shade, talk about something you could just cross-examine with the evidence. It's a lot of evidence, bitch. Stop playing with my man. And so she mad as shit. But being an attorney, man, you get to like play with niggas. She definitely tried to play with that man. Now, what they doing now is he's entering the evidence and I guess to be taken out so that he can present it to the witness. If I'm mistaken by what I'm saying, you know, screw y'all. Y'all could look at it yourself. Now, what he's going to do is he's going to pull out some papers. It's a bunch of text messages. The state attorney print out all this damn evidence. 7,000 worth of evidence that the defense attorney, he keep taking shots at her. Like, you know, sorry, Your Honor, it's taking so long, but I got all this evidence.
How many pages?
19 pages. We're making it a little simple. This is coming from 9807, the phone.
I don't know which.
I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
Thank you. May I approach?
Yes, sir.
Spelled on this T-H-A-T, that. Correct?
Correct.
This is coming from the 9807 that the state has introduced thousands of pages indicating
Counsel testifying.
that it belongs, or it's a phone that Melly uses, correct?
Correct.
Page 1 of defense exhibit coming from 9807. Would you tell the jury how he spells that?
Dat, D-A-T.
D-A-T. Page 2. Will you tell the jury how he spells that?
D-A-T.
D-A-T. Not T-H-A-T. D-A-T, correct?
Correct.
Page 3, coming out of 9807. How does he spell that?
D-A-T.
So when Melly spells the word that, you want me to go through all 19 pages, or will you take my word that every time, coming out of 9807 that's attributed to this young man as writing the message, he does not spell it T-H-A-T, but D-A-T. Would you like to look through them?
No, sir. You're asking me to explain that the one moment he decided to use proper grammar.
One moment, these phone messages sitting there.
One at a time, all right? What's the objection?
Argumentative.
Overruled.
These phone messages that the state introduced sitting on this pages that we painfully went through, he spells it D-A-T, not T-H-A-T, except for this one occasion, right?
Correct.
What a strange thing.
The nigga Kirk that something, so whatever. He said, sorry, Your Honor, my fault.
Somewhat unusual, wouldn't you think?
Natural speculation.
Okay. Before we get into your investigation totally, you became aware that the state employed or brought in the FBI to analyze these phones, correct?
Yes, sir.
They brought in the FBI,
Actually, correction, sir. They analyzed the cell site tower, not the actual phones.
cell site towers, so that they could tell the jury where these phones were located, correct?
Correct, sir.
So I don't know what just happened, but the judge want to see this dude for a second. I think he might be getting in trouble, or he might be. Remember I told y'all how to get away with murder. The judge may be in on it the whole time with the FBI and them trying to put this shit on YNW Melly, and he realized that the defense attorney is getting kind of close to making this a mistrial, so he about to go ahead, chop it up with him, tell him, Addy soldier, shit on the line right now, you feel me, and I need you to go ahead and take a break for me, you feel me? So YNW Melly, he in good spurs, you know. I feel like the nigga might not have did it. I definitely feel like, you know what I'm saying, they try to set cuz up, but is YNW Melly a little off? Fuck yeah, cuz off like a bitch. But he might be off because he's musically genius, and he makes good music. Is his music on the demonic side? Yeah, probably. But am I saying that the devil make good music? Yeah, that nigga was an angel at one time, so of course the music gonna be tantalizing. But you know, is there a possibility that he could have did it? Absolutely. Do I think he did it? No. I think he's being set up, and man, this shit getting kind of crunchy. The judge, you know, this is a good judge. You know, I do feel like this judge is being fair. He is, you know, trying to give both the defense attorney and the state an opportunity to present their case to him, not only to him and to the jury, because at the end of the day, he is seconding whatever the jury's decision is. And for this to be one of the last days of trial for YNW Melly right now, so far in the game, I'm feeling like in the game of this particular day in the trial, I'm feeling like the defense got a good chance of having a mistrial or having a hung jury. Hey man, that prosecutor's face is real demonic looking. Y'all got people.
Or not, you're aware that the FBI does not look at the environment because they cannot attest to the reliability.
I am not aware of that.
Fair enough. You also use latitude and longitude coordinates.
Yes, sir.
Are you aware that the FBI does not rely upon the latitude and longitude when they determine where a phone is?
The latitude and longitude that comes into play on the true call data report of the cell phone. It's an estimate. The cell phone provider is providing us an estimate where they believe the phone might be. Like we said before, it's not precise, but it's accurate.
My question to you wasn't that. My question to you is, are you aware?
Excuse me. What's the objection?
Man, this state prosecutor, man, she full of shit. She mad as shit because they using some tactics of determining where the cell phone is at, longitude and latitude. The FBI don't even use this. They don't even use it because they said that they can't prove that that's where something was at. And if y'all remember, the other black defense attorney was giving an example about the watch and the steps, and how the husband was like, how my wife doing 2,000 steps? She's a stay-at-home mom, and all she do is clean up and go to the piano. But the piano was counting her taps on the piano as steps. So which is why her watch would say it's 2,000. She took 2,000 steps. When in reality, she was just playing the piano. Now, when you're looking at doing these type of things where you're trying to prove that something is true, everybody has to agree that this is law. You know what I'm saying? You can't just say, one person can't say this is law and the next person say, no, that's not law. If everybody around there say that's not law, you can't use it. You know what I'm saying? So the state attorney mad and she got the button in.
That the FBI does not use the latitude and longitude coordinates when doing their analysis?
No.
Perjury, Your Honor. I want to say he just committed perjury. You see that pause? He even looking like he in trouble now. And he just gonna pause and blatantly lie like that? Bullshit.
That the FBI never uses a cellular analysis by itself to prove a case.
Neither do we, sir.
Hey, y'all peep how the defense attorney just repeated the question again and asked him, and now all of a sudden he wanted to chime in.
All you
This
are
nigga lying.
saying basically is that a phone may be in a general area, correct?
Correct, sir.
Cannot be 100% correct, right?
Correct.
And in fact, depending upon what tower it bounces off on, it could be totally incorrect.
There has been false readings with towers. And sometimes, anomalies within the records. It happens.
And we've heard a lot of talk about chat messages, and you read with both prosecutors various messages for what I perceive to be days, but hours, days.
I would agree with you. It was long.
Along. And they would say, I'm going to pretend to be Mr. Smith, for instance, and you read the message coming from Judge Murphy, but I'll be getting in trouble. Not Judge Murphy. How about that gentleman in the back from BSL?
Okay.
And the messages were read and identified as those two people, the state and that BSO officer sitting in that corner.
Yes, sir.
Basically, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're aware, in order to really tell a jury who the person is, you need that person like this.
I don't know if it's just me, but the way this nigga looking at the defense attorney is off. Is this looking like he a little tambourine player? You feel me? But I don't know.
Analyzing the phone. Now, in addition to that, you told this jury that you attempted to, well, you did get some cameras off of 595 and I-75, correct?
Yes, sir.
Could you tell the jury if you could see who was in each vehicle?
No, sir, you cannot tell.
Could you tell this jury?
Now, big
how
ups
many
to the
people
defense
were
on
in
this
each vehicle?
end too. Now, when he got the name and camera spots that the state did not go get the camera footage for, I was like, hoorah, hoorah. That's good. That's good. The defense work right there, because the state of this witness right here lost in the sauce. He don't even know what they talk about.
The only surveillance you got was from the Montessori school, correct?
No, the Montessori School is on Pines Boulevard.
Okay. Did you get any surveillance from any of the cameras on Miramar Parkway?
More specifics are which one you're referring to.
Okay. How about the CVS that's on Miramar Parkway?
It doesn't cover up that far.
Did you pull it?
We went there.
Did you look at it?
Yes, sir.
How about Applebee's on Miramar Parkway?
Where's there Applebee's on Miramar Parkway?
We're on Dykes Road. On Miramar Parkway West, on Dykes Road, on the intersection.
Yeah, there's a pharmacy there, but there's no Applebee's there.
Did you go to that pharmacy?
Yes, sir.
Did you pull the surveillance?
No, sir.
How about the Pollo Tropical?
Their videos didn't cover that area.
Did you pull them?
No, sir.
Did you look at them?
No, sir.
How about the gas station that's on Miramar Parkway?
The one just east of McDonald's?
Yes.
Yes, it did not cover the road.
How about the bank that was on the corner of 172nd and Miramar Parkway?
Did not cover the road.
Did you look at it?
Yes, sir.
Did you bring it in?
No, sir.
How about the four-way intersection where there's 4 cameras on 172nd Avenue?
Cameras covering the road.
Yeah, to see the cars driving through.
There's no traffic cameras at 172 and Pines. It seems to be a great misconception when people see those white boxes on top of the cameras. Those are actually control the traffic signals. They're sensors. The old sensors used to be in the road. They would burn out. The lights would not cycle properly. So, but there's no cameras. It's a great misconception.
Okay, then you said the vehicle turned right on and went south on 184th. Is that correct?
Which vehicle?
The Jeep?
Jeep never went south on 184.
Did it make a right turn on 184, the Jeep?
Yes, sir.
That would be north.
Yes, sir.
My mistake. Did you look at the camera at Publix that's on that road?
Doesn't cover the road, sir.
Did you pull it and look at it?
We went there. It does not cover the road.
My question is, did you look at it?
Yes.
How about Sunset Lakes Elementary? That's there. Did you pull that camera, sir?
No, sir.
How about West Broward Elementary? Did you pull that camera?
Where's West Broward Elementary located at?
On south on 184?
184 and what?
Pembroke Road.
Pembroke Road in 184?
Yes.
I don't know of a West Broward school there at Pembroke Road in 184.
Okay. How about the Walmart?
No, sir.
You didn't look at it.
No, sir.
How about the Audi Market? Did
No,
you
sir.
look at that one?
No, sir.
How about the Walgreens?
No, sir.
Hey, whole time Slim was naming all the motherfucking streets, man. Hey, he did his research like a bitch. The defense really did a good job right here, and I like how he was pausing when he was asking these questions too.
Yes, sir.
How about the Exxon? That's right down the street from there.
No, sir.
How about Somerset Academy?
No, sir.
How about the Tractor Supply Company on that street? Did you bother to look at that camera?
We're specifically on Pines Boulevard to Tractor Supply.
190 what? 192nd.
No, sir.
You missed quite a few cameras.
Now, my question right here is, does the defense attorney know for a fact that they missed cameras that might have been looking at that road, or is he just reaching? Because the witness seems pretty confident that he checked all the cameras that he could, every single one of the bitches.
Now, you were told by Cortland Henry that the day of October 25th, several people went to the flea market to buy some weed, correct?
Yes, sir.
Certainly you went there to pull the tapes of the flea market so that you could show this jury, didn't you?
No, sir.
But you did a helicopter ride to show this jury this route on what day?
May 2023.
May of 2023,
Yes, sir.
after this trial started. Correct?
Action, Your Honor.
Man, this prosecution trying to ruffle the feathers of my man, because she keep objecting every 5 seconds. This is a good question. How can the jury really understand or know if they taking the helicopter ride. I guess that's what the defense try and get at.
And you
but we
did
gonna get
this
into it.
drive-by in a car with a partner filming it. On what day?
March 2022.
That was 2 years after this incident?
4 years, actually, sir.
4 years. That's why I'm a lawyer and can't be an accountant. 4 years after this incident.
Yes, sir.
And that was all done at the request of the state of Florida, correct?
Correct.
The prosecutors in this case, correct?
Yes, sir.
4 years after the incident.
Yes.
4 years after this young man.
Excuse me?
That's the answer.
Thank you. Just say.
4 years after this young man surrendered, correct?
Sustain the objection. Ask your next question.
Let's look at Exhibit 115, if I could find it. That's the blue phone, I think, that was in the vehicle?
The black LG phone. The blue phone belonging to Chris Thomas, or the one belonging to Anthony Williams, or the one that was in the back seat rest?
Okay.
Just want to say, who the hell is that coughing and hawk spitting in the mic? Like, that might be that security, that officer, that police. Now, right now, he looking for a phone for out of evidence to make his case about something. But these fools can't find it, I guess.
The phone that was the third phone found in the car, correct?
Yes, sir.
That you said you don't know who the owner is, correct?
Correct, sir.
During one of the breaks, I asked you to open that phone, correct?
Yes, sir.
And there was a SIM card in there, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that SIM card has a serial number on it, correct?
Yes, sir.
Fine, no?
Could you
Can you
answer?
step down for a second? See if you can find it.
You want me to help you find Johnson?
If you could.
Now, I thought this was funny as shit, the witness coming down to help the defense find the phone for evidence. That's real funny. You feel me? You see how eager he was to get out that seat and help? What's up with that? I really don't even know why he came down off the stand, because the defense attorney found the phone. He was just lifting shit up. I don't know if they exchanging notes, the words, whatever the case may be. Shit just seemed a little off.
May I approach?
Why is he down there?
That is 115, State's Exhibit 115. Could you open that, take that phone out?
Yes. I put gloves on just because there was blood on it one time.
I don't blame you.
Fool acting real suspicious. I don't know what's up with him. He dropping the gloves all wild and crazy and acting funny.
Analyze to determine whose blood it was?
Yes, sir. We took it to HIDA, High Intensity Drug Trafficking Agency, and they had them attempt to analyze the phone. It's completely broken.
Okay. Could you open that phone like you did during when I asked you to? Don't pull out your burglary key now.
It's not a burglary tool. It should be a burglary, sir. I want to lose it.
Did you pull it out?
Yes, sir. It's right here.
Could you pull out this? Did you pull out
Yes,
the SIM
card
card?
right here, sir.
Could you read the serial number off of that, sir?
Now let me tell you what's bullshit about what he just did. Why you got glasses on? You take them off to read something. Ain't the point of having glasses to so you can read? So I know this nigga full of shit. He pulled his glasses off to read, bro.
With the court's permission, let the jury see that SIM card.
What, publish it to the jury?
Yes, let him hold it.
Any objection? Go right ahead. You step down. Executive.
I don't know how to work the computer. I'd rather him just show it to the jury.
You may step down. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
To a particular fund.
Yes, sir.
Did you do that in this case?
No, sir.
Fair enough. You could take that SIM card back.
Can I step down now?
Yes, you may.
I'm sorry, tell me when you're ready. You
Okay.
put it back in the 115, the bag.
It's going to take me a few minutes. I'll wait till the next break. If you want to.
I don't want the clerk to get in trouble, so just put it back in there. Let me return it to the table. The clerk's watching very carefully.
How you gonna tell a defense attorney you gonna wait till the next break? Put that shit back in the bag and give it to him so he could put that shit back in the evidence. Like, what's going on here? Why are you just gonna leave the evidence sitting up there that you said had former blood on it, bro? Like, what is really going on? This nigga is acting way weird right now.
Thank you. Now, what I'd like to do is somewhat go in chronological order of your investigation, if I may. You get a call on October 26, 2018 to report to the Memorial Hospital, correct?
Yes, sir.
When you get there at about 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, sir.
At 6 o'clock in the morning, you speak to the first officer, which would have been Officer Amagor.
Yes, sir.
And also on the scene is Detective Bertram and Bermudez.
Sergeant Bermudez. Yes.
Sergeant, I apologize. And you are assigned the lead detective role.
Yes, sir.
And that is like a conductor in an orchestra. All right.
I wouldn't categorize that, but
Now, are pictures taken of the two individuals that were shot before they were removed from the vehicle, the Jeep?
no, sir.
You immediately go and speak to Cortland Henry, correct?
Yes, sir.
And we listen to the tape of Mr. Henry, a victim, but that he now is lying to the police concerning the shooting of two individuals.
He was still listed as a victim that day, even though we knew he was lying to us, but he was still considered a victim at that point.
There is such a crime as lying to the police.
Yes, sir, it's a misdemeanor.
You could have arrested him if you so chose for lying to the police, correct?
You're saying I should have arrested a potential victim of a violent crime on a misdemeanor?
Could you just answer my question? Could you have arrested him, yes or no?
Yes.
And you spoke to him for approximately an hour or two, correct?
It was about an hour.
Okay. And he gave you the address where he lives, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that address was 18521 Southwest 44th Street, Silver Lakes?
Yes, sir. No, Sunset Lakes.
Sunset Lakes. But he gave you the home address.
Yes.
And he tells you also that Melly lives there, correct?
Yes.
He tells you Anthony Williams, one of the victims, lives there.
Yes.
He tells you Christopher Thomas, the other victim, lives there, correct?
Correct.
And he also tells you that Melly is a recording artist, correct?
Yes.
And we learned from the testimony that $16 million went into Jameson Francois' bank account.
Over a 30-month period, yes.
Okay. So, and he was the business manager of this 19-year-old young man.
Yes.
You learned later, correct?
Yes.
A rather successful, would you say, recording artist.
I really don't understand the music business, sir. I don't know how the money's made, how it comes in.
I'm not asking you that. Someone who earns $16 million in 30 months legally is pretty successful, wouldn't you say?
Well, I don't, like I said before, that we could never determine the amount of money, what was, you know.
See, the defense attorney right now, he doing a good job because he's presenting the case at like he should. The state of these police officers for the state of Florida was jealous of YNW Melly. They knew about this money because of the informant, which was the manager. They knew he got all this money legally, and they was just sick, and so they didn't really investigate like they were supposed to. They was just ready to convict. Although Portland did lie to them, and they knew he was lying, they still didn't arrest him because they was going to try to use him for their own benefit.
You also learned about that time, and you mentioned it briefly, that a text message came out from a crucial almighty.
Yes.
And that text message was, we were just aiming at YNW, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it had a picture of him with a target, correct?
Yes, sir.
So it would be fair to say on October 26th of 18, Crucial Almighty, which his real name was David Hedgepath, was suspect number one based upon that.
It was a person of interest. It was something to look at.
When did you, since you knew this on October 26th of 2018, when did you decide to talk to the David Hedgepath, Crucial Almighty, who said he shot at this young man inside a Jeep? What date?
I first did a search warrant into his social media account where the comments came from, which then was able to determine a better picture of Mr. Hedgepath was. So it was probably maybe 2 years later when we interviewed Mr. Hedgepath.
2 years later. That would be in 20?
Yes, sir.
A year after this young man surrenders to you, to the police?
I'm not sure the exact date, but
February of 19.
okay.
Would you agree it was 2 years after that?
Yes, sir.
So I like how he paused it as if he knows that I'm about to be commentating, but I like how the defense attorney brought up that it was another person, a suspect, who said that he shot at YNW Melly, took a picture, sent it to somebody with a target on their head. Like, it sounded like they had a hit out on Melly and they got at him. And the attorney police detective ain't do shit. 2 years later, bro, my man wasn't even trying to look up at the defense attorney. He looking nervous, like, damn, they done caught me in some shit. Like, why didn't they go after the dude after they found out that he had did this? Like, I don't even understand, bro. Like, this is seeming kind of crazy to me. And I don't know if the defense attorney is doing this purposefully, but the fact that he is pausing and getting his paperwork together, getting all of the things that he's trying to say to this witness together is excellent, because right now what's happening is he's building suspense with the witness. Now the witness is confused, discombobulated. He don't know what the hell this attorney man is about to ask next. He is really, really nervous, and I love it. I like how this defense attorney is handling this shit.
Subpoena any records from him?
His work records.
And when do you subpoena those work records?
2 years later, after we interviewed him.
Okay. And I think you introduced him this. Did you speak to any of his co-employees to verify whether or not he was really working when the time clock indicated he was?
Yes, sir.
So not only did the detectives not question this dude, they didn't even go to this man's place of work to get verification from his co-workers that, yeah, he was here, he was not nowhere.
Where did you do that, sir?
So like I said before, there was no connection between the house and the crime itself. Now,
The answer-
where we had blood, where we had evidence, where we had instruments of a crime, we did search warrants. Anytime we had a nexus between the two, we did a search warrant. We never had a nexus between the two. We even went to that house that day, knocked on the door, there was no one there.
You could have secured that house by officers standing in front of it and at least come to this jury and say, I went to a judge, explain to the judge, 8 people live in a house, 8 people left the studio, and a few hours later, 2 people ended up dead, and the driver of the vehicle lied to us about everything concerning the shooting. You could have done that, couldn't you?
No, that's not how that works, sir.
Not how it works. Fair enough. Did you get a search warrant of the house in November? At all?
You mean for which house, sir?
The house where Melly lived.
No, sir.
How about December?
They were already gone at that point.
You could have looked for blood, traces of blood, because we saw that you spray this agent on things and miraculously blood surfaces. You know that.
Yes, sir.
Did you do that?
No, sir.
The state did a sloppy ass job doing police work. Like, they literally just wanted to put all of this on YNW Melly after they found out that he was the rapper in the vehicle. This shit is wild.
And Dontavius Withers, correct?
Yes, sir.
They were the 2 of the individuals that originally left the studio
Yes, sir.
and got into the red Mitsubishi.
Correct.
You learn from that.
Young, the state prosecutor blowing the shit out of me, man. The nigga ain't even asked the question, bitch. How is you fucking objecting? This nigga ain't even asked the question, bruh. You know why she objecting? Because she know she done messed up big time, baby. She done messed up big time. How in the hell did detectives didn't do detective work. Christopher fucking Columbo. Like, how do y'all do y'all detective work? How is this even possible?
Investigation, correct?
Repeat that question.
At the end of October 27th, your information indicated that this young man was not in the Jeep.
Hey Slim, somebody gotta make YNW face the meme, because why that nigga look like that when the defense attorney pointed at him?
You say false statement. You have Cortland Henry who told you this, that he wasn't there, correct?
You're saying.
Sustained.
She keep objecting, but the judge is sustaining it. I guess he has a reason to, but this state attorney make me want to smack her ass. Like, what are you doing, bro? Stop freaking objecting.
That the day of them going to the studio, that Christopher Thomas and Anthony Williams went to the flea market. 11:28, you go back to the Jeep for the third time, correct?
Yes, sir.
So every time they go back to the Jeep, they find some new evidence. He did that throat thing because he a little nervous. You feel me?
On December 4th, based upon the analysis of various phones or whatever, you, along with Miami-Dade Police and ATF, search a canal off of I-75, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that was based on some pinging or mapping of the 9807 phone, correct?
It was not the pinging, that's the proper terminology. It was the true call data, which placed the phone near the C9 canal.
And both Miramar Police, Miami-Dade Police, and ATF, after searching the canal, find absolutely nothing.
Correct.
December 5th of 18, you meet with the medical examiner, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, approximately 3 months later, January 27th of 19, you execute a warrant on an apartment located at 5700 Tuscan Place, apartment number 307, Margate, Florida, correct?
It was the 28th, sir.
The 28th, not the 27th?
Correct, sir.
I stand correct. On January 28th, you execute a warrant on that apartment.
Yes, sir.
That is an apartment belonging to Jameson Francois and Adira Scott, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's the same Jameson Francois that had some 16 million in his account. We're talking about.
It sounded like the way the defense attorney is going, that he trying to make sure that the jury know that this manager had all this money deposited into his account. He has all of these gun straps in his house. Where's the guns? So the manager in Dade County Police in cahoots. That's what I'm getting at with these questions.
A locker, a storage locker, correct?
Yes, sir.
You in turn execute a search warrant on that locker.
Yes, sir.
I think it's storage unit if I can read my writing, 509, located on South State Road 7 in Marvin, correct?
Correct, sir.
Now, I noticed it wasn't mentioned, or maybe I missed it, but in that locker you found, did you not, a black holster, correct?
Yes, sir.
You found another black holster with a Glock back strap on it,
Yes, sir.
and a black holster with a magazine holder,
Yes, sir.
and various gun locks, correct?
Yes, sir.
No guns.
No guns.
Without telling us, you never, ever interviewed Jameson Francois to ask him about the 3 black holsters found in that locker, correct?
I interviewed him after that incident.
You never asked him about those black holsters.
Man, that nigga, that manager 100 track killed them 2 boys.
Not sure.
That boy killed them 2 boys, and he's an informant for the Dade County Police, and he set they ass up, and they say, we gonna pay you $16 million, nigga. You set they ass up. He sure did set them up.
Correct.
And you never, ever, as we sit here today, know where those guns that were locked